Every skill and every kind of understanding that I help students develop in English class, I can help them develop with as much or more depth in a media literacy class. Critical thinking, writing, understanding text, speaking and listening, understanding the union of form and content, symbolism, point of view, multiple perspectives, as you were talking about, theme, tone, and so on. And I feel that the same potential for synergy exists in all academic disciplines. For example, social studies class, in teaching cultural history and awareness of civic responsibilities, as the last panel talked about. Or in psychology class, where you can use students' reactions to media as a kind of Rorschach test to illustrate unconscious process and the concept that each of us has an assumptive world view. In fact, I think all teachers can more easily reach all students when the ideas being studied come not just from a textbook, but from a combination of the printed word and modern media. So the turning point for media literacy students, the beginning of their real empowerment, comes when, after being passive viewers of the media for so many years, they start to actively claim ownership of their reactions to media. As they study media's tremendous influence on their lives, their ideas, their values, their opinions, they are essentially studying themselves. How they respond to media, what they feel, what they believe, and why they believe it, who they are as individuals, and ultimately, who they want to become.
In media literacy, I have learned to appreciate these things as an art form, and it has helped me fine-tune my analytical skills in both writing and discussion, making it so I'm not only learning about the world around me, but about myself and how I react to certain subjects and themes within the movies we watch. Unlike most classes I've taken, media literacy has given me a place to express my opinions freely without fear of judgment. And as one of the only self-declared feminists at my school, this is something that I truly value, and it's really rare. And for that, I'm very grateful.
My experience with and my support of media literacy began during my undergraduate study, where I was able to participate in a pilot program for See, Hear, Feel Films at Amherst Cinema. During my time at Amherst Cinema, it was a profound experience to watch the third graders interact with short and foreign films. The students were collaborating, creating, analyzing, and connecting with the films that they experienced. Students with significant English language learning difficulties and children who were labeled as functionally illiterate were able to learn skills through visual literacy and had a stronger foundation to build their traditional literacy skills through their positive experience with See, Hear, Feel Film. Film was something that every child was able to connect with. I'm currently a first-year teacher in Springfield, and my fourth graders are already shutting down. They don't like school. They're rejecting traditional literacy. And I know that with comprehensive media literacy, their knowledge of visual media could transform their learning and make school more engaging for them.
At Girls Radio, we work to change the message the media promotes to our young women. Media content tells them they have to either be loud, violent, sexually provocative, or gyrating their scantily clad bodies around some guy in a music video, or almost anorexic, to be accepted and considered worthy of attention. In our program, girls are taught through training and instruction to think critically about the impact of the messages in music and the media on their lives and the lives of their peers. They broadcast live on the internet, where they learn all aspects of radio broadcast and production. And at girlsradio.org, we have found that equipping young women and young people with the information and tools necessary to identify negative, provocative, and misleading messages increases their sense of self-worth and decreases their desire to engage in high-risk behaviors for attention and respect.
Whether one chooses to believe it or not, the media influences almost every decision that we make, including and especially those we make as citizens.
All the information that gets thrown at us this day, a lot of it is targeted at kids and at teenagers, and although it's targeted at us, we've never been taught how to deal with it.
And one of the things we figured out was that manipulative attack ads were less effective than constructive ads, especially when we had an informed group of voters.
And in this class, we learned about facts, and we learned how to get facts without bias and without spin. So we're focusing on the issues, and also we learn to respect one another and both sides, so we all know how to get different perspectives from one another.
Finally, something that I think we all got out of the course was a heightened sense of self. We were all more confident individuals, and we were able to discuss our opinions and talk about major issues with our peers, with our friends, and with our family. And this was really empowering and gave me a lot of confidence in the classroom and in my other classes as well as outside of school.
This isn't simply about educating students to critically evaluate the various sources of information that they're exposed to, but also teaching them how to utilize all forms of media. Some of the testimony seems to be focused on teaching students how to use the various forms of media to their advantage.
This is a baseball day in the city of Boston, and I was thinking that game, I know for any of us, probably didn't get over till about 12:30. So I'm thinking the game of baseball takes an hour and 42 minutes. The remainder of that game was exposure to media, be it the billboards in the field, the tweeting that was going on, the Facebooking that was going on, the advertisements that were going on. It was just an incredible amount of media that we're exposed to. So it just highlights for me that one evening, the need for this type of legislation.
Television, the newspaper, it is inundating kids, and it is also very fragmented, unlike it was, at least when I was growing up. And that is a challenge for parents. It is a challenge for educators. It's a challenge for our social workers, and it needs to be addressed. And I will tell you, I am loath to suggest to the superintendents and teachers that work hard for us every day that we're going to load another thing into a 6-hour day. But what I think this does, if we do it right, is hopefully builds it into the existing curriculum.
Along with Senator Catherine Clark, I am the lead sponsor of the bill. And increasingly, we all live in a media-saturated world. Indeed, we live in the information age. Children are bombarded with images that would be scarcely imaginable to us even a generation ago. Media literacy education affords children with the skill set needed to take advantage of and participate in this new media world, while also providing them with an awareness of the fact that we are all constantly exposed to messaging from all manner of interest. I thank you for your time and hope that you will report the bill favorably.